Hello and welcome back. Randy replay in mid-bite of an ice cream cone. We've seemed to have lost television satellite feed to our game, but I'm being told it is back. We are back in business and ready to roll. The pass that was thrown was incomplete, caught out of bounds. So we're going to get you back out to Eagles Stadium. 9:26 left. Defense. Time for you to step up. Offense right now. Score some points. Let's go.
So incomplete on first. Let's see what second down has in store. They're going to look to throw. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to bring up a third down.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Out of the gun now on third down. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line. Now we'll get a stoppage here as it appears we've got an Eagle slow to get up. While the training staff takes a peek, we'll take a break. Now the offense lining up 1st and 10. Now a play fake here on 1st down. Rolling to his left. Looking left side, and it's complete. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
On any given pass play, you never know exactly where your exit points are going to be. On this play, he was flushed to his left, still on the run, able to accurately throw the football for a nice 1st down.
So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he's going to be hemmed in and brought down right at the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
Brandon, that play ended so fast, it's almost as if the quarterback handed it to the runner, and the tackle was there right away for a loss of yardage.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And it's incomplete.
It's always tough for the guys throwing the football when they think they've got a completion and the ball's almost there, and then someone sneaks a hand or two in and bats it away.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Normally, he's pretty reliable. Usually catches what's thrown to him. On that play, he simply dropped it.
And his kick is absolutely perfect. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. All right, so this one's now back within a field goal. And if anybody tells you they see how this one's going to end, I'd have to say they're probably lying, Charles.
And this game's had more twists and turns than a good mystery novel. And I have a feeling we've got a few more twists and turns in store for us before they shake hands here.
And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27th. The Minnesota defense, we watch them get set to roll. And they gave up a touchdown last drive. You kind of need to hit the reset button after every touchdown given up, Charles.
I love that. And the way that you phrased it is perfect because from series to series, you can reset how the game is going to go. If you gave up a touchdown before, it doesn't mean you have to do it again. And if you made a great play before, you have to reset again anyway because they're going to attack. So I love the way you phrased it and put it out there. That's what they have to do in this series.
Not like when you're playing a video game. You can't hit the reset button here. Let's go.
No, you shouldn't anyway, that's for sure.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Play action to Sproles. Wentz finding time. And there's a flag on the play. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete.
Pass interference. Defense.
So pass interference on the defense. And Charles, this is a penalty we see all the time.
The offenses know what they're doing. They know how to create great matchups. And defenders, if you're not there in time, they will throw the flag.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
It'll only be a gain of a yard, and it sets up a 3rd down and 4 now. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Green 39! Green 39!
From the gun on 3rd down, Wentz. He's going to flip that out to the flat. It's complete. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th. Here's Donnie Jones now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. So an excellent throw and an excellent catch there.
Zone coverage, which means you just have to find the open areas in between defenders. That's exactly what happened on that play.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on 2nd and short.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
They'll give it to him right up the gut. And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line. Only a yard on the pickup, so a good situation on 2nd and 2. It's now 3rd and 1.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
3rd and 1, partner. No need to be fancy there. Just use some force and move forward and pick up the 1st down.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4, and it'll make it a 2nd down. Looks like the defense in press coverage here. They come out here in the eye. They'll drop to throw. He's got his tight end on the corner route. It's complete. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. And with that last play, he's now up over that 300-yard mark.
And in today's NFL, it almost feels routine. And I hate that when you talk about a 300-yard passing game. To me, 300 yards still signifies excellence, and he's achieved that in this performance.
They'll look to throw. Now they go screen. It's complete. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. Got to give some credit there defensively. They snuffed out that screen early on first down.
Really read it well, didn't they? Because they didn't bring the pressure that they expected. They covered all the passing lanes. So once you see it break down as the passer, I think in this situation, you're throwing it at the feet of your back to make sure no one picks it off, or you throw it away, throw it over the sideline. Don't try and freelance and try and make a bigger play. There's really no one else running a pattern that should be open.
Give him 8 on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, that plays a statistic that's going to go on the defensive team stat sheet. Won't necessarily reflect in ours, right, the overall game sheet. But you and I know that they keep count on pressures, hits on quarterbacks, all those things, hoping to increase that throughout the game. And here we are in the fourth quarter, and they got a big one.
And such a close game, a very big one.
False start, offense.
One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on fourth down.
No. Check. Patriot.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. He sets to fire deep. And no, it's incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Eagles defense able to hold. So the failure to convert, no doubt, really hurts. But this one's not over. A good chunk of time on the clock and the timeouts.
Yeah, not only do they have the timeouts, as you just noted, they're going to get an extra one with a 2-minute warning. And that's going to help in big way. So in a sense, they have 4 timeouts in their pocket. The big thing, stopping them on defense now. They can't let them get a first down and make them use their timeouts and get a fresh set of downs. They've got to stop them right here. And if so, they've still got an opportunity. Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders. Hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or
better against man, because now you're running away from someone and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. They'll run it now out of the gun. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over.
Let's go.
From midfield, here's Wentz. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up fourth down. Here's Donnie Jones now. He'll boot it away from about his 35. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. We put our attention now on the Eagles defense. And everything's going to rest on this drive. Can they keep them out of field goal range, because a field goal would win it?
So now you're in that position of you can't just back off and give them easy throws. At the same time, you don't want to press them so hard they go over the top and beat you deep. So you're playing a tight defense with an idea that you have the lead. Whatever you do, don't let them in the field goal range and give that up.
So maybe tight but not too tight.
Exactly. I mean, it's perfect, right? It's kind of like lacing up your shoes. Get it exactly right and no more.
See if they lace them right. Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. See if they stay on the ground for second down. Back to throw. Escaping the pressure right. And that's caught inside the 30. And he's brought down after a good gain. And now the Eagles going to signal for a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. First down and 10 now for the offensive group. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he is swallowed up right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. A 6-yard pickup on the ground that time, and that'll make it 3rd and 4 coming up. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. So they run it on second down. Now let's see what third down brings here for the offense. And to give this time to the tailback. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to take the lead here in the final minute. And his kick is indeed good. And the sideline celebrates as they have taken the lead in the final minute. And, Charles, I guess that's what you call a welcome to the NFL moment here for this guy.
Brandon, it's almost assuredly a game winner, too. I tell you, the leash can be short sometimes on rookie kickers. We know that. But I think he buys himself a little leeway with this one. That was one heck of a kick in a pressure spot.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. So you're right there, but obviously the clock is not your friend. How do you handle this situation?
You're thinking 2 plays. One, to get yourself in position for the second one, whether you're able to get into field goal range or you have to try another deep pass, another Hail Mary. But you're trying to get the first one to a receiver, get out of bounds, and give yourself a chance to set things up for an easier shot at it.
Let's see if they can do it. Might be easier said than done. And, you know, every win is sweet, and I'm sure everybody enjoys a huge victory, but sometimes only winning by 1 score, 2 scores, a field goal, that can feel pretty satisfying too.
Without a doubt, because now you know that your team responds in critical pressure-packed situations. As a coach, as an organization, that makes you feel awfully good.
So for the Vikings, it's a much-needed victory as it gets them back to 2-4 on the year. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to the Windy City to take on the Bears. Meanwhile, for Philadelphia, the loss here will move them back to 500 at 3-3. And they'll try to get back on track next week as they head to Dallas to take on the Cowboys.
Well, hello and welcome, everybody. Randy Replay back at it with you. And what a game. What a game. My heart is still pounding from that last drive. It was, wow, it was... That's all I could say. Can we call Brandon Baker Mr. Clutch on this show? Because he's nailed 2 game winners in 2 straight weeks. Now, let's not forget about the offense. Let him down the field to score that game-winning field goal. And the defense, prior to that possession, was the best defense I've seen all day. They got to Carson Wentz, forced to throw away. They played that kind of bend but don't break mentality, but they still had great play. Right there at the end of the game, that pass interference, you cannot take that call. I feel like they missed that one, that they because it's been like that all day and they haven't called it. I feel like that was the wrong call there, but hey, what do I know? I'm just a guy who talks about stuff and looks at numbers on a radio dial. Well, anyway, we're going to get into the post-game show here. These are the stats for your Minnesota Vikings. QB rating for Smeagol of 93.5. Completions, 33 out of 48. That's 68% of those. 68% for those of you that don't know how to do math or didn't look over here. Yards, 354. 3 touchdowns and that fourth quarter interception that led to points on the next drive. I'm not worried about this at all. I'm really not. He has 7 touchdowns against 2 interceptions. It's not that bad. He had another 300-plus yard game. You know, it's whatever. Averaging 7.3 a pass. Longest pass was 26 yards. Rushing, we had Sam Gable. Third straight 100-yard performance. 16 attempts for 100 yards, 6.2 average, and 1 touchdown. Aaron Moss, 6 for 34, 5.6, and no touchdowns. Travis Parker got a little bit. He got 3 more carries and only amassed 8 yards in the final half to bring him up to 20. Smeagol had that big 24-yarder. He ends the game with 38. Danny Hendricks only had the 1 carry for 1 yard. Look for him to come back. I mean, they're just giving him a test because he's off from injury. Anthony Bisbee, again, was the number 1 receiver for this game. 8 catches, 116 yards, averaging almost 15 yards per catch. No touchdowns, 22 with a 2.7 rack average. Luis Gonzalez, 5 for 52. He does get his first career NFL touchdown, averaging 4.0 rack with 20 yards. Josh Gable, 5 for 36, averaging 7.2 yards per reception. That's got to be good. Blake Letelier, that final drive again, gets open, and guess what? That's all he does is he gets open and he makes big plays. 1 touchdown on the game. 56 yards. Jesse Peterson in his first game back from injury, 4 catches, 50 yards. Not a bad first game. Travis Parker, 3 catches, 32 yards, and a touchdown. Sam Gable helped. He had 2 catches for 1 yard. Matthew Peterson had the lone catch of the third quarter, I do believe, and Danny Hendricks had a 1 catch for 6 yards. Nobody cares about blocking. We're going to go look at total tackles for the game. Sean Clausen led the team here with 8. Nelson's, Anderson, and Pickering, 7. Otis McMillan and Josh Fisher each shared 5. Kevin Stark had 4. Thaddeus Rozu had 3. Matthew Arnsdorf had 3. Danny Pickering had 3. Scott Rethwell with 3 and a tackle for loss. George Thornton with 2. Josiah Russell with 2. Van der Schaaf with 2. Fritchie with 2. Matthew Peterson, the fullback, had some tackles. What can this kid do? Richard Salty had 2. Chibuko had 2. Dan Nolte had 2. Tevin Fair, Wesley Holm, the tight end. Roy Beadler, Robert Nichols, Luis Gonzalez, the tight end, apparently had a tackle. John Sullivan, the center. I do believe this is wrong. And Mario Alvarez, the kicker. Now I know this is wrong. So, he's the only kicker in the NFL with a tackle. Tackles for loss. Josiah Russell and Otis McMillan each split 2. George Thornton, Kevin Stark, Richard Salty, Josh Fitzer, Scott Rethwell each had 1. No sacks, but the lone interception came on Jacob Pickering. Hey, I mind you, his game back from injury had an 8-yard interception, got us out of the end zone. I feel he should have taken a knee, but I'm not down there on the field. Like I said, I just look at numbers. Kicking, Brandon Baker. 2 for 3. That's right, he had the blocked field goal. 66% for those of you that don't know how to do math or didn't look over here. Longest was 46. That was to put us in the lead at the end, near the middle of the fourth quarter. And then he hit another one at the end of the game. He had 1 block. Extra points, 4 for 4. That's what you want to see. No blocks. Hit 2 from 40 to 49 and 1 from... okay. So 2 for 1. Bunting, of course. Taylor Pline had 2 for 92. Does it show the average? No, it doesn't. 1 inside the 20, longest punt of 55 yards. Kick returns, Aaron Moss, 3 for 76. Zachary Anderson, 2 for 49. And no punt returns for the day. We did not force a 4th down that was not able to be kicked for a field goal. So again, I rate this performance. It was good. We got the win. The team played defense when we had to. They gave up a lot of yards, though, as you can see, 374 and 3 touchdowns with a 75.8 completion percentage. We're going to take a look at what we got going on next week. We're going to get prepped for the final whistle and the ensuing practice to come. And we'll take a look at who's back from injury, because there's a couple. There's a couple guys back from injury here. You know what? We're actually going to spend some time in upgrading these guys. And we're back. All right, so it is the trade deadline in the NFL. Don't look for the Vikings to do anything big. So Luke Slazewski and Darian Wilson are available to come back. We're going to plug them into this team. And we're going to show you that whole process of how we go about doing all of that. So I'm curious to know, if you had a wide receiver who was your starter coming out of the preseason because his preseason was so good, and when he comes back, you already had 2 second stringers in Anthony Bisbee and Blake Letellier that are just absolutely killing it, what do you do? I mean, obviously Darian Wilson is a lock. He's had too good of a season. You can't ignore that. Jesse Peterson is having a okay year. You don't want to waste their talents. So that will be some things we take a look at going forward. Maybe they just get worked into that rotation, and whatever happens, happens. But you can't ignore Anthony Bisbee. He's just had so many good plays for this team. So now we're going to take a look at our current injury situation. I think there's only one player that's not on. Yes, it's Lou Wang. He comes back next week. Zach Line is actually eligible to return. I think he's back. It doesn't tell me, but anyway, Lou Wang ruptured disc in his back. He is out for 1 more week. As we take a look at the Bears, they got some injuries as well. Pernell McPhee, broken collarbone. He's out for 6 weeks. Everson Griffin, familiar name, their big right end, he is out for 3 weeks with a pulled groin. They're saying it's possibly a sports hernia, but on the injury report it's listed as a pulled. So they're gonna keep him on the bench for this one. And Will Beatty, dislocated ankle, that's got to hurt him. 5 weeks left, so that left side will be a little bit weaker for the Chicago Bears. We're going to take a look at this defense. We're going to upgrade some stuff here quick. So just bear with us here as we're trying to get this defense in a better spot to make some plays. I think the playbook has to change. I really do. This 4-3 just isn't cutting it. I really don't think this 4-3 is cutting it. We're built personnel-wise to go for a 3-4 defense, and we're stuck in this 4-3 rut because we can only rotate players in a certain way. Anyway, doctors have cleared Lou Wang, but he's not going to play. They're going to keep him on the sideline. So the Vikings come away with a big win late in the game, second straight week in a row. And guess what? We're 2-4. Nothing else has changed. So in the standings, 2-4. Everybody else is 4-2 or 4-3. Your Minnesota Vikings are climbing the ladder, as it were. It's going to be tough, but I think we have the personnel to do it. I really do. And we just got back our number 1 wide receiver. Actually, our number 1 and number 2 wide receiver coming into the year. So it is what it is. We're going to have that speed going down the field again. I think that's what we were missing. We have 2 speed wide receivers coming back, especially in Darian Wilson. He's just a fast kid. So we're going to look for that to play a role in next week's game against the injury-ridden Bears. Just want to thank everybody for watching. Hit the subscribe button so you can stay up to date with all things Randy Replay and Minnesota Vikings related. This has been Minnesota Vikings Final Whistle and your post-game show, brought to you by Dunkin' Donuts. When it's Dunkin', you better dunk in your donuts. Randy Replay signing off once again. The Minnesota Vikings victorious against the Eagles, 34-43 walk-off kick fashion. Didn't take an overtime. You saw it. Randy Replay signing off. We'll see you in the midweek episode.